Was convicted on prostitution charges, but today he's in federal court in New York looking to have it all thrown out. Prosecutors have asked for 4 to 5 years in prison, while the defense is asking for what would amount to time served. Joining us now is Neama Rahmani, a former federal prosecutor who has covered this case extensively. So Neama, great to see you again. Break down what we expect to happen in court today and walk us through the process.
Michelle, great seeing you too. So the defense is doing three things today. The first is to try to get the Mann Act or prostitution convictions dismissed. Second is to ask for a new trial, somewhat similar arguments there. And the third is to advance the sentencing. That means to move it earlier, hoping that Combs gets time served. I don't think any of those arguments have much of a chance of success. But with respect to the prostitution counts, the defense is arguing that because Combs didn't actually participate in the sex acts and it was more voyeurism, that doesn't amount to prostitution. The government is saying, well, no, you facilitated prostitution with your romantic partners, and that's enough. The other argument is that this was artistic, that because he was filming these sex scenes, it was homemade pornography. Again, I don't think that argument is going to have much of a chance of success either with the moving the sentencing forward. If Subramanian, the judge in the case, wanted to release Combs, he probably would have done so much earlier when the defense was asking for bail.
Does precedent weigh on how the judge may decide in this case?
There's not a whole lot of precedent here. I can tell you that the defense does have a good argument in that very few people are prosecuted federally for just prostitution. And the ones that are, they don't spend more than a year in federal prison. Now, of course, the government is arguing that this case is much more than prostitution, right? We've all seen the video of Combs attacking Cassie Ventura in Los Angeles. There was violence here, there was drug use. So it's going to be interesting to see what the judge rules on those issues when he sentences Combs next Friday.
To pin you down, you believe the decision will be what?
I think he's going to get some time. I do think that if Judge Subramanian was inclined to grant time served or a lesser sentence, a slap on the wrist, he would have granted that bail motion. The fact that the judge kept Sean Diddy Combs in custody leads me to believe that he's going to impose some sort of custodial sentence on top of the 13, 14 months that he served already. Now, I don't know exactly how much time, but certainly some time, in my opinion, based on some of this other conduct.
Will this case, the ending of this and whatever happens next week, put an end to Diddy's legal troubles?
Not at all. There's at least 60 civil lawsuits that have been filed, and those have been stayed or put on hold while this criminal case is pending. And obviously, we know that Combs was acquitted of the most serious charges, the racketeering and sex trafficking, but he still may be found liable in some of those civil cases. And the example everyone always talks about is O.J. Simpson. He was acquitted in the criminal case, but he was still found liable in the wrongful death case. It's a much lower standard in civil court, and I expect the civil plaintiffs' lawyers to be more aggressive and potentially do a better job than the government did in this case.
Okay. All right. We'll be watching very closely, as I know you will as well. Neama Rahmani, thank you so much for joining us today.